the second book, the handbook, was we had resisted writing in Words and Women. We had not wanted to suggest ways for people to resolve the problems of sexism in English, because we felt that thinking it through people could make their own resolutions. There were ways to do it without being told, instead of saying this, say that. But there really were a lot of people who honestly wanted to do it, but didn't know how, or couldn't figure it out. So an editor at, it was Lippincott and Kroll at the time, and an editor there, Carol Cohen, suggested to us that we write a book on this, a handbook of how to resolve the problems. And she persuaded us that there was a need for such a book, and we did write it, and it's called The Handbook of Non-Sexist Writing, and it's a good book. It gives a lot of examples of problems that you don't see immediately the sexism in them, but if you read through them carefully, if you read them carefully, you realize that they are sexist, and there are ways around it. And we tried to show how people could write in such a way that they did not reinforce stereotypes or convey impressions that they didn't intend. And that book came out, I think, first in 1980. And Lippincott and Kroll, and then Carol moved to Harper. It was called Harper and Row in those days, and it became HarperCollins. And the book stayed in print there with a second edition. And she also reprinted. We got the rights back from Doubleday for the handbook for Words and Women, and she printed a second edition of Words and Women at HarperCollins, and a second edition of the handbook later. So they stayed in print until the mid-90s.